Here's one expectation that some of you guys might have heard of. There are 3S: social life, sleep and studies, and you can only choose 2 out of 3 at one point in time.
Yes.
Reality is... Okay, is it true, right, that internships and career are really important in uni?
Yeah, I mean, of course, this is really expectation meet reality, but in different degree though, right? I mean, because university is like a last milestone before we start working.
Yes.
Yeah, so a big conversation in university is really about internships and career. And I realized that, but though we can have different ways to differentiate ourselves through the internship and career. Some people really quite hardcore, right? Like this girl over here, she's like the Gen Z with aspiration, big aspiration. That's how I knew her. Like someone featured her on social media. I was like, who is this NUS business girl? And that's when we started talking. One of the ways we started talking, right, on social media. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, it's true, but I won't say I'm like the typical hustler. I would say the real hustler friends, right? Especially those, out of entrepreneurship, right? There are those in say pursuing banking, consulting, finance roles especially, right? They already have internships even before uni.
Oh yes.
So which is like right now, and every summer and winter they're packed with internships. So they graduate with like so many in their resume, or even part-time internships during these academic semesters themselves. So that's one pool of people. But I fall into the kind where year 1, year 2, I didn't do too much internships. I was joining more like school activities, and I was working on my own startup as well, and my own like freelance media business. And then year 3 onwards, then I went a bit more aggressive on my internships.
Like right now, your internship.
Yes, right now I'm doing an internship under the NUS Overseas College program in a venture capital.
Yeah.
So I think it's really valuable, but let's not discount the CCAs as well.
Yeah, so I chose to get more similar to Van though, like I didn't really have a lot of internship experiences. And I didn't expect that so many people would like this internship is so big, right, that they can pack everything together. But for me, I personally choose like experiences. So I joined the NUS Entrepreneur Society as the vice president, and that's when I first met Vanessa as well.
Yep.
Right, organizing through entrepreneur events, and subsequently we co-founded NUS Angel Ventures. So take up leadership position in these organizations, like what we're doing right now, definitely do also help us build this entire portfolio-ish. But I choose to differentiate myself or get more career pursuits through like side hustles, like businesses and startups, right? Rather than just through corporate internships.
Yeah, that's right. And I think one tip is use your CCAs also to network with as many external parties as possible.
Yes.
Whether they are like coming down to your school or doing an online seminar, connect with them on LinkedIn, because these could be your gateways to your internships. So 2 of my internships were actually from speakers that came down from CCAs. One of them for NUS Entrepreneurship Society, and that's how I landed in Love Bonito. And for EY Parthenon, it's because of the CCAs that we were co-founders for, NUS Angel Ventures, and that's how one of the advisors recommended me for a position as a consultant.
Yeah, so speaking of CCAs, right, I think a lot of people don't know also, right, that you have to actually be very aware of what CCAs there are out there as well.
Yeah, and there are new ones coming out all the time,
Yes,
especially some students, they are quite ambitious and they start their own one.
I think we have like at least 3 to 4 or 5 consulting clubs in US alone. We have a few investment clubs, right?
Yeah.
But only one entrepreneur society, thankfully. Yeah, so but I think maybe one thing you all want to watch out for is like during this opening, like this June, July, there can be a recruitment period for CCAs as well. And for our CCA, we are recruiting for NUS Angel Ventures. So I mean, ultimately, I feel that there's a lot of ways where we can hustle in university, whether it's through internships, CCAs, or your own business out there. And that's the good part of university. We have a choice to make what railroad we want to do.
Here's one expectation that some of you guys might have heard of. There are 3S: social life, sleep and studies, and you can only choose 2 out of 3 at one point in time.
Yes.
Reality is...
Ben, tell me the truth. Did you sacrifice any of it?
Yes, it's true!
Which did you sacrifice?
It's true. Okay, I think at the start of year 1, right, because we have a lot of SUs, which means we can pass through some of our modules and our grades don't count, and this is only applicable mostly in NUS and for only selected modules in SMU and NTU, right? And that's why I chose to sacrifice sleep and studies a lot more and did too much social life. Sleep like 3-4 hours, studies, I mean, I tried,
Yeah.
So I think I sacrificed 1.5.
You're doing a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things like, DJing,
a lot of stuff, yeah. So I had a lot of social life, not so much of the other 2S. How about you? Which one did you sacrifice?
I think for me wise, sleep I did sacrifice. I think it's quite balanced throughout for me. But I did sleep significantly less than compared to in JC at the first year.
Yeah.
But I personally I don't believe in trying to balance all three areas. I try to integrate everything together. So instead of school work life balance, it's more like school work life integration, because I was also in CCAs and doing work outside and in school, and I try to integrate all my interests together. So my social is work, my work is school. And that's why I joined NUS Entrepreneur Society as well. Because I'm interested in entrepreneurship, and it's something I'm going to do outside of school anyway.
Yeah, and that's how you first met, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think now with COVID also, right, it's so much easier to try to achieve the 3 S's, because there's honestly not too much social life. How much Zoom,
True.
fun.
And we don't need to travel anymore.
Yeah,
so you can sleep more.
And clubs are closed, so that means you can sleep more, clock your 7-8 hours, and spend the time, studying and catching up on sleep. Next expectation. This one is a juicy one. People say that uni is the best time to find your future wife and husband.
Is it?
Did you?
No, look at me right now.
No, not for me also. So I think we're still trying to figure this out.
Still searching. It's a reality that there's no.
Sad reality.
Yep, so that is the end of our second part of the entire series of expectations versus reality of university life. I hope that has been helpful to you. We have talked about in the second part of this video the social life, having to sacrifice, do we really need to, as well as the overseas experience, internships and career, as well as the dating life.
Let us know if our sharing and experience are helpful to you. Leave it down in the comments below, and we would love to talk to you more about it. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, do give us a like, share and hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time again for another video. Bye!